Hey guys, it's Thursday, August 12th, and I think it's going to be a pretty short video today because I don't really have anything to talk about at all. We got homework. We have to do review questions. We're having tests Monday, but I don't think it's going to be hard. She said they're only like 20-25 questions. She apparently told the other astronomy class, and she told us the class was easy, but she apparently told the other class that in order to get anything but an A in astronomy, you have to try not to get an A. So I think, and I pretty much understand everything, but it took a while to do the work though because there were so many questions. We had a sub in Spanish today because my Spanish teacher's daughter is having a baby. So we just like worked on stuff in there. During accounting, she went over like the basics of accounting, and I kind of got it. At first it was fine, and then after a while it got a little confusing, and I think I understand what she was saying, but I'm not sure. So, hopefully I understand, because it would be really bad if on the second day of school I already don't know what she's talking about. U.S. history, all we did was we got worksheets, and for the first half of class we worked on those worksheets, which are for every lesson in chapter 1. And then the second half we went to the computer lab to work on our projects. My group's doing 9/11. Apparently Indiana standards say that the teacher is supposed to teach from the Civil War on. I don't know why they don't teach before that, but the Indiana standards are just for Civil War on. But our teacher said he wants us to do at least a little bit of before the Civil War. And it's weird to me that we don't have to learn about the Revolutionary War or anything. I don't know. But he said we're doing the first 2 chapters of our book. There are the only chapters in the book that are before the Civil War. And we're just going to go over those briefly, real quick. So, chapter 1 is about the Revolutionary War and stuff. And that's what we did worksheets on. And I love history so much. I'm such a nerd. I'm obsessed with history. Anyway, and I took AP World History last year, so now this is a regular history class because they don't offer AP US History. My school doesn't, so it's incredibly easy for me too. I'm taking English 11 honors this year, and I don't have it until next semester, but we got summer reading to read over the summer. 3 books we had to read, and we have to take tests on them later this month. I think the first one's on the 24th, and I haven't read any of them yet. I started reading The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway today. I only read 4 pages today. I calculated how many pages I need to read a day to get it done by the test, and I'll be fine. It's more than 4, but I'll be fine, because it's not a full-length novel, it's a novella, so I'll be okay. And then the other tests are after that, so I'll read the books then. But from those 4 pages, I already know that's going to be one of the most boring books I've ever read. I'm not looking forward to this. When we go, our school, you have usernames and a password to get on the computer, and you have to write down what you want your password to be at the beginning of the year. And today was the first day I got on the computers to research 9/11 for a project, and I couldn't log in, so I had to go to the library and talk to the teacher about it. And she showed me my password, and apparently, this shows you how messy my handwriting is. She put one of the letters were wrong, so now I have a password that I didn't actually choose for my password, and it's going to be hard to remember all year. So that sucks. When we got off the bus today, my sister, me, and my sister's best friend, who rides our bus too, got off the bus, and we get off the bus at our old school, and then we have to walk like half a block home. And we went into our old school, and like all the kids were gone, but all the teachers were still there, you know, because they're working. It was so weird going in there, because I've been in there since I left, but it's always like nowhere near time of school, you know. And going in there and seeing like all the teachers working and everything, it's so weird, and it makes me sad. It's been 3 years now, but I miss that school. So my sister's in the shower, and I'm sitting in my bedroom, and the phone starts ringing, and I don't don't like answering the phone if I don't recognize the name on the caller ID. So I didn't answer it because I didn't recognize the name at all. Well, my sister's yelling at me from the shower, pick up the phone, I'm like, no, I don't recognize the name. Well, it stops ringing, but my sister gets out of the shower, and she decides she's going to call them back in case they needed something, and she calls it, and it turns out it was this boy from her class, who Regina has noticed staring at her all throughout class. They have PE together. And he apparently stares at her all throughout PE class, and he's been creeping her out the past 2 days. And he called to ask her out. And she didn't want to say no. And this is the first time anything like this has happened. And she's like, anyway, instead of just saying no, she says, oh, I don't think my parents would let me date. Because she doesn't just want to flat out say no. And then he calls a 4th time, and he asks her out again. Like, he's like, I don't even remember what he said this time, but he asked her out again, and she's like, look, I really just don't want to go out with you. And then I think he hung up on her that time, but he hasn't called back. Bye, guys.